Jason Seidl at Dahlman Rose Company, which just concluded a two-day conference on transportation. And Jason, what were your chief takeaways from this conference?
Well, I think heading in, investors were really worried about, are we heading into a recession? I think the chief takeaway from my companies that I've been speaking to is we're not. Some may be talking slower growth, but in the most part, most companies are talking about growth across all modes.
What, wonder if you could talk about the specific modes and any particular things that you learned from rail, truck, air.
Sure. Well, I think on the rail side, it's sort of, steady as she goes, slow single-digit growth right now. There's probably some noise in there and the impacts of Hurricane Irene from some of the eastern carriers, but they're all still getting pricing going forward. So I would expect that to continue. My estimates for 2012 are looking for sort of slow single-digit growth, although the interesting impacts from Hurricane Irene's rebuilding might start hitting some of these companies in 4Q. In terms of some of the trucking carriers, dry van capacity seems to be out there. Shippers don't seem to have problems getting it. Some of the specialty carriers, that being flatbed and refrigerator, seem to be much tighter, thereby getting better price increases. On the LTL front, all the carriers seem unified. Everyone's put through their general rate increases. They all seem to be holding, and even contractual rate increases seem to be sort of that 4 to 5% range. So they sort of found religion since about a year and a half ago. When you're looking at some of the other logistics companies, I think it varies. Acquisitions have been sort of talked about and bandied about among many of the people here. It seems that people that were afraid to maybe talk about selling their companies about a year ago are starting to talk about it again, and many of these companies have cash in the balance sheet. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few transactions in my space.
So this is a little bit different than what we're seeing in the general headlines.
Well, absolutely. The only thing we have to worry about is if all this fear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy out there right now.